You're listening to LA40 with Katerina Cozias, only on LA Talk Radio.
All right, good morning, LA. It is Thursday morning, a little past the hour, and you're tuning into LA40. Again, I'm so excited that you're here. I am your host, Katerina Cozias, and I am joined today by a lovely lady sitting right next to me. I'm going to introduce her. Paula Carlotto.
Carlotto.
Yes. You have to roll the R's. Carlotto.
Yeah.
So, Paula, the beautiful thing is we are streaming here on LA Talk Radio's network out of our TV station studios here. And we're also recently starting to stream live on Facebook, which is excellent.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yes, and actually
hello.
I had meant, exactly. I had meant to have the computer set up so that people from Facebook could be interacting with us with some of their questions.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
of course, I forgot to do that. So I wonder if I can get it up here. Bear with me a moment. I wonder if I can get it up on my screen here. I probably can. So bear with us, guys, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you're tuning in, because it'll be really great to interact with Paula and with myself during this show segment today.
Yes.
As we delve into handcrafted healing and how it's so important to follow your dreams, to follow your soul, to tap into what is calling you and what's making you happy. And part of what we were laughing about when the show was opening is, we were just saying there's so much pressure that's put on people.
Yes.
And especially young people that are 17 or 18 years old, and the world says to them, you have to pick something, you have to go to school, you have to pick something, and pick it now.
I believe there started a big mistake. You cannot choose at 17 and 16.
You don't know, right?
You can't.
No.
I would love if before the college, people work. People feel the street. People feel...
Yes.
I don't know, like follow their passion. Like some people, is born and they know exactly where they want to go.
Right.
But some people not, like
Right.
especially artist people, special, like sometimes you have to follow the dreams of others, like,
Right.
like the dreams of your parents.
And how many people
We
have
know
had
that.
to follow the dreams of their parents, right? Exactly.
Yes, I was so
Exactly.
lucky because always they give me a lot of freedom, my parents.
Your parents did, okay.
Yes, yes, they were amazing.
Right.
They were amazing, like, like always, like they, they were concerned about what I'm going to go with life, but in the same time, always they say to me, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Well, you have a beautiful store here in Los Angeles, and it's a crystals and lifestyle, really beautiful things for the home. And you were so gracious to bring me this basket.
Of course.
So we have a beautiful basket here. What I want to do is I would love you to share a little bit of your story of how you came from Argentina to be in Los Angeles.
Okay.
How you came from being a chef to being somebody who works in this space of basically just spirituality, lifestyle, the healing of the crystals, and also I really want us to go a little bit deep into this topic of how do you allow yourself permission to listen to your soul, right? Because say you're 17 years old and you pick a topic and you study it in school, but 10 years later you think, you know what, I didn't want to do that in the first place.
Yes.
How do you get out of that rat race? So tell us a little bit about your story.
I knock the door. That's exactly what I'm doing.
You're knocking on the door of life?
Yes,
mean?
yes. I was studying medicine. Okay, nothing to do with this. I mean, like if you follow, I don't know. Like my life was kind of crazy, but in the same time, always I was allowed to listen my heart and allowed to knock the door. I want to get in.
Okay.
So, like what's happened is like, one day I say, okay, I came back to Argentina because I was living in Italy. And I say, I want to work in the kitchen.
Okay.
I want to be a chef.
Excellent.
I want to work, but who I'm going to learn from? So
So you went away from medicine and thought, I would rather be a chef.
Yes,
I'd rather
because
be
I was living in Milan,
Okay.
and I was doing another kind of stuff. I took a break. And, like I say, well, I want to work with the best chef in Argentina.
Okay.
So I knocked the door.
May as well go to the top, right?
One day it was raining, I went to his office. I knocked the door and I say to his assistant.
Okay.
I say, I want to work with you guys, and they say, we don't have anything right now, but I let you know if the opening or something, is opening for you. So, after 3 days, she called me and she say, we have the position, but it's not here. It's in Uruguay, so it's in another country.
Wow, in Uruguay.
Yes. So I
what
say,
did you think of that?
So I say, okay, but what is about? And they say, we're going to go to the place, we are going to open the restaurant and we need people to working with us.
Okay.
So I say, okay, yes, sure, why not?
Sure.
So I started working with him in Argentina, and after a year, I say, I want to start to work in the kitchen, and they say yes. So I started to follow my passion, I started to follow, I saw a fantastic formula. When you knock the door, if it's not opening, it's something coming up from that, It's
So
not
don't,
necessary.
Don't be discouraged if the door doesn't open.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And in this case, though, the door did open for you.
Yes.
Okay. And so here you are. You're in Uruguay. You're in this. You're
I
living your dream of the time.
Yes, I
'cause
love
it
it.
tends to
And I
evolve.
have a great time in Uruguay, I learned a lot with the chef. And after the season was almost over, and another chef, contact me and say, I want to work with you in the winter season. So, everything was follow, I don't know, they invite me and I say yes. And after one thing, get another thing, and you follow your dream, but I believe, people, it's really scary to follow the dreams.
Yes. Why do you think that is?
Because we have a lot of pressure in this society, I believe. They need to pay bills. They are moms and dad, and they don't have a support sometimes.
Right.
But I believe it's more a fear, a money, a monetary issue, who take you to be unhappy in the way,
Well, and I think society too, right? It's been drilled into us from when we're young that you have to have
Yes.
a bigger house and a bigger car and a bigger life and bigger and strive and stress and stress and strive, and so.
But you feel empty, you start to feeling like, it's nothing part of you, anymore. It's things like, they are material things. Like, where are you going with material things? Yeah, you can have a bigger car, but you're not happy. I mean, who you take with you in the car?
Right.
I mean, So it's like, that's the thing. It's like, it's so important to, maybe it's not possible today, but you start to doing something to go for it. I don't know. I always want to have a store, and for me it was kind of impossible about to having the store. And
So you wanted to have a store because you were telling me before the program started that you were a chef, but then you would come home at night or on the weekends and make jewelry.
I was beading. I was making jewelry. I was
because that
playing
was
with
just
beads.
your way of relaxing, your your
Yeah, it was
outlet
kind of
creativity.
rounding. Yeah,
Okay.
and after a while, my therapy became my business.
Your passion.
Because I was wearing my jewelry and people want to get it from me and say, how much is that? And say,
Right.
no, I'm not selling it. This is mine.
but baby, I should sell it, right? The light bulb starts
So one
to
day
go
I say,
off.
why not? Yeah, it's that. And I say, oh my gosh. So I started working in farmer market.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I started selling my jewelry in farmer market, which I love farmer market.
I love farmers
And
markets
the
too.
first one was Larchmont.
Okay, well, you know what, babe, we missed a step because you were in Uruguay and then all of a sudden you're in Los Angeles. So how did that transition happen?
Oh, okay. So I was working with the chef and I was working in Argentina, and one day, my aunt, say, well, I have a ticket for you because, I'm turning 60 and I want to be in Los Angeles.
Okay, so she's having a big birthday party here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, like something like, you know, like
Yeah.
more a trip, you
Sure,
know,
yeah,
memory
like
or something like that.
yeah.
So, so I came to Los Angeles. I feel like home, and I stay. That's that easy.
There you go. So then you started. Did you get a booth at the Larchmont? For those of you that aren't from LA, Larchmont is one of the neighborhoods, one of the communities, and it's
Yes.
really a beautiful oasis. I would say in the middle of Los Angeles, that makes you feel almost like you're in a town. It's
Yes.
such a
It's
beautiful.
a village. Yeah, it's Larchmont.
so
That's why
Larchmont
they call
Village,
it, yes,
right?
yeah.
And so you set up a booth there originally.
And I was there like for 12 years.
Wow.
One day I say I want something more,
Okay.
and I built a fashion truck. The name
You
of
built a fashion truck.
Yes. So
Excellent.
in the beginning was kind of impossible. Like, you know,
Okay.
talking about dreams,
Yeah.
you know, like my ex-husband, you know, like say, no, that's impossible. We don't have the money. You are a dreamer, blah, blah, blah. So what I did, I started to put all the things together. I asked for the loan.
Okay.
And I did the fashion truck.
How did that feel?
I feel so powerful. And, you know, in the middle of the process, he say, okay, I help you. I say, oh, that's great. You know, because, you know,
Thanks
like,
for showing up.
yes. So I did the fashion track. I was one of the first fashion track, you know, in Los Angeles. And the thing is, like, in that moment, I was really in the dark place in my marriage, because, you know, well, a lot of good reasons to be unhappy in the marriage. But the thing, you know, made me happy was my daughter and my project. So I say, which name, you know, because my name is Paula Carlotto. They know me like a jewelry designer, but I want to sell more than jewelry. I want to support local artists. I want to be part of the community. I want to have things like unique things, you know,
Right.
one of the kind.
Yes.
That's why I want to have a bigger space, because,
Okay.
you know,
'Cause
like
the truck was too
yeah, every
limited.
time in
Right.
the booth it was like more and more, and
Sure.
you know, was the setup was taking hours.
Right. So
I
every
say,
time
okay,
you're
no, I
setting up
need
and
something
breaking
more
down.
practical
Right.
and more like reachable to
Okay.
places. And I did it, and because, you know, like, it made me really happy, you know. And I say, well, like, I'm so happy when I talking about this. That's why I put the name Alegría.
What does alegría mean?
Alegría is joy, is happiness in Spanish, in Italian, and in Portuguese. So, and I put bazaar because bazaar is like a French word, like, you know, like.
The big bazaars. the
Yes,
big
like you can find
markets.
anything.
Yes.
You
right.
can find.
I've been to beautiful
a
bazaar.
crystal.
Yes, right.
Or you can find a blanket for your couch.
Right,
I don't
right.
know. It's like, you know, that's why I put bazaar, because I really like the sense of you find really small treasures, you know, for you and your friends and your
Well,
loved
and you
ones.
brought us some of these treasures today, so this was such a beautiful package that you brought to me, and I'm so glad you did, because we can show off some of the things that your store offers. And for
Yes.
anyone that is local to Los Angeles, I would really, really, really urge you to come to Larchmont Village and to find Paula and her store, because it really is beautiful.
Yes.
And why sage is important, what it's about. So
Well,
talk to me about what saging a space. Why would someone do that?
Sage, you know, like, you know, it's good to smash the space, you know, like
Yeah.
to burn sage, to clear in energy. It's fantastic for antibacterial. When people is sick or something like that, you know,
Okay.
like, it's really nice to burn sage for that.
Sure.
But this sage is really special because somebody collected for me in Los Angeles, and I dry out in the store. So,
Right.
you know, like, it's fresh, you know.
Right.
It's really, it's fantastic. It's really good. You know?
And we had a little bit of a pause, and so what we were able to do actually during this pause, for those of you that are with us, is we've got our Facebook feed going up now. So big shout out to Ellis and to Noel and to Christopher at Ocean Tech, California. Big shout out to you guys. Thanks for being with us
Thank
this
you.
morning. Yes, absolutely. So talk to me about this beautiful. I want to show this beautiful shell. This one here. That's
Oh, the
fantastic.
abalone. Yes, that one is beautiful. You know, it's really nice. I like it, you know, abalone to burn sage.
Okay.
Because, you know, like.
Abalone is the
it's a shell.
the shell material.
Yeah, it's a shell
right.
material.
Yeah.
And it's natural, you know,
Uh-huh.
but it's really nice to burn sage, you know, like there, because, you know,
Yeah.
getting burn.
Right.
And, you know, like, and sometimes, you know, if you have the carpet, you have to be really careful.
Yes.
Go with the plate, you
Right,
know,
right.
something in the house.
And then this is also excellent, the piece of wood.
That one is a Palo Santo.
Ah, Palo Santo. Ah, yes, the Palo Santo. Tell me what this is, the holy stick.
The Palo Santo, yes, that one is a Hollywood.
Yeah, it's a Hollywood. It's Hollywood in Hollywood.
Yes. No, the Palo Santo, that one especially is coming from Peru.
Okay.
The shamans, they use it for clearing spaces, but in the same time to uplifting the energy. Once you clean with sage, it's really nice to clean with Palo Santo. And it's kind of a sweet smell too.
Okay, so you burn this as well?
Yes.
Ah. It has a little bit of a sweet smell even now.
Yeah, when you
That's
burn
really
it, it's beautiful. It's really nice.
And you have such a beautiful Buddha here for me.
Yes.
This guy.
That was for your new house.
This is excellent. Excellent. I was telling Paula she didn't know this, but I'm moving in a week, and this is such a beautiful welcome basket for me to clear the new space, clear the energy,
and
get beautifully
and set your intentions.
and set my intentions. You have some lovely candles as well. Now, all of this is available at your store, correct?
Yes, this one I made the candles. You can open them.
Yes.
You know, like
Let's open them.
You're gonna smell them.
Oh, yes.
They're really good.
Now, how do you make candles? Because part of you know the segment here is handcrafted healing. Basically, what you did is you started to make the jewelry, make these things to heal your soul and some of the things that you were going through, some of the dark periods.
Well, you know, all start when you want something special for you. You know, like, and I was allergic to silver, so you know, I say I didn't like any of the jewelry outside. You know, I love jewelry. You can see that.
It looks jewelry loves you.
So I started making jewelry, and the same thing happened with the sage, with the candles.
Okay.
I love candles, but sometimes, you know, like the essence of the candle is too much perfume for me.
Okay.
So, you know, like these candles, I make it with essential oils.
Okay.
And they are organic. They are 100% organic.
Excellent.
I use Young Living, and I put crystals inside because I started making this for myself. When I want to set intentions, when I want to clear something in my house.
Right, right.
And a lot of people start to say, well, I cannot burn sage in my studio.
Right,
or
it's
in
too
my
much. Right, so what can I,
on the office.
What can I burn,
So
right?
I started making sage and Palo Santo candles. And now I start the line with joy and stress away, and you know, like
I love this one because this one is protection.
Yes.
Which is always so fabulous. I have, and then this one is joy, and
bring you joy
yes,
for
to
your
bring
house.
you joy. Thank you so much. There's so many lovely. This was like Christmas in April for me today, this morning. And then you have also these beautiful cards here.
What was a Greek Easter, right?
Yes,
It's
it was
almost
Greek
the same.
Easter last week. That's right. It's like an Easter basket, actually. That's right.
Yes.
Oh, these are. Talk to me a little bit about the cards.
That one, they are oracle cards.
Oracle cards.
It's coming
Okay.
from Oti Harma.
Okay.
It's a local artist, which I love it.
Yes.
She is from Finland.
Okay.
And she lives in Los Angeles. And she made beautiful drawings and beautiful like pictures. But, you know, like she started doing this line of oracle cards.
Right.
And people love it.
Shall we pull one right now?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Let's pull one right now.
You can.
Because you know what I think? I think part of the oracle cards, right, is you pick one in the morning.
I do that every day.
Do you ask a question, Paula, before you pick the card, or do you just?
Yes. I'm every day now is my new thing, my new kind of meditation.
Okay. Tell me about your morning practice.
Well, I wake up in the morning. I have my mate because I'm from Argentina.
You have your what?
My mate.
What's your mate?
Mate, yerba mate.
Oh.
You know?
No.
It's a drink.
Okay.
You know?
All right. I don't know. I have to get there.
It's
okay.
really nice.
Is it like coffee?
It's
matcha.
better than coffee. Yeah.
Matcha, maca.
Yes. It's kind
like
of
a tea.
It's
almost.
kind of green tea.
Yes, the green tea. Yes.
So I got my mate, and I say, you know, like I shift, you know, like I shift it, no? I shift my oracle cards.
Okay.
And I ask the question, what I have to learn today.
Shall we do that now?
Yes, you can do it.
Okay.
Let me see. Let's take this out.
Okay, that's the cover, right?
Yeah, that's the cover.
Okay. All right, what do I have to learn today? I'm going to close my eyes a minute. And if you're watching us, close your eyes too and maybe ask that question. I don't know that the card I'm going to pull is going to be representative for everyone, but let's see what comes out. Yes.
Could look at maybe in two.
Okay. So do I split them?
Yes.
Or do I
please.
just fold them out?
No, just divide
Okay, yeah.
in two.
Okay.
And let's
Okay.
see.
All right.
Let's pull up the
Let's see. Okay.
We playing like that in the store too. When
Yes.
people is coming, like that.
Yeah, so let's
Sometimes.
see. What do I have to
Why
learn
not?
today? This is going to be a good lesson. Okay.
Let's
Here
see.
we go. This one here is calling to me. Ah, that we are one. I like that.
Yes.
I like that. And that one is so important because at the end of the day, Paula, we all are connected.
Yes.
We really are. And I think that there is a consciousness, a collective consciousness that there's an evolution that more and more people are starting to recognize
Yes.
this tie-in of all of us in divinity.
I believe, like the other day, my daughter asked me, "Why you say good morning to that lady? Do you know that lady?" And I say, "No, but I see her every single day passing in front of my house, and I say good morning." This is what like made the difference in the world. I believe. Like I love to do that.
Yeah.
It's the same when you get into the elevator and like somebody who look beautiful. Why saying
Why would
something
you
like
tell
that?
them? Yes.
This is something like change totally the vibrations and the frequencies in people. Like if you, I don't know. It's not lying. It's not like faking it. It's just be the difference in the world. Do something nice every day. Like not just because they see you, or you have to do something. But like it's really nice to be positive. Like and try to be better every day.
And
That's why.
the thing is, kindness is free as well.
Yes, yes.
So why, if you have nothing else to share with someone, why not share some kindness?
Yes.
I think that's important.
Yes, I believe that's why like you pick up this card because I believe in we are all one, and should be really nice to unify, our connection, have more compassion,
Right.
like disconnect a little bit from the cell phones,
Yeah.
sometimes, I'm going to pick up something and everybody's in the cell phones. I mean, I love my cell phone too, but,
Right.
I believe, the connection, this connection is, the conversation, how we
Human,
connect when
how are
you came
you?
to my
Yes,
store.
right.
Like we
This is
connect
true.
like, I don't know, because we talking, like we
Yes.
were present,
Yes, we were present and we were talking and we were vibrating at the same. I was feeling a real, a sense of we're both wanting to give each other some goodness and some
Yes.
positivity and some good vibes.
It's so important to empower, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes, like the other person doesn't have the courage to do something, they love it, and maybe we can give a nice uplifting word to say go for it, like and it's so important to empower people too.
Yes, because I think too many times, right, and like we were saying at the beginning of the program, people go into this fearful place, and the fear stems from how am I, you come from a scarcity mindset, and we don't realize that there's actually so much support,
Yes.
universal support,
Yes.
so much universal love, so much universal protection and worthiness for all of us, that we need to sit in that stillness sometimes and just feel that we are so okay.
Yes. Well, I believe, like one of the first thing we need to do when you have a passion, when you have a dream, like, is be honest with yourself. Like, be honest. Be honest. What is motivate you every day? Sometimes, like we cannot concrete, our dreams, right now, but like we are in the transition mode, and be happy in this transition mode, because when you get there, you get there. But you know what? You have to be happy. You have to, sometimes we're learning from that moment, and it's so important.
Learning from the down moments.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's great because when you get there, you get with the strength. You get like ready, hungry for that. Like and that, I believe like that passion like help you to be happy every day. Like to be in the moment every day.
Well, and I think you and I'm a big believer in people, success can be measured across many different ways. One of them is obviously financial. One of them also is fulfillment.
Yes.
And I think people that are successful, because they're living into their passion and their purpose, by listening to the calling of their soul, they become more fulfilled. And then they're vibrating at a place where the money naturally comes.
Yes.
Because there's just a peace and a happiness and a fulfillment. And so you see people that really pursue their passion usually also are okay financially.
Yes.
Because it's hard to have one without the other. They will catch up.
Yeah, because they know what they're going for, you know, like, and that is part of be present. This is not about cell phone, it's be present in the moment, because, sometimes, like, I don't know, I was in my store and you just came in, to my store, we start to talk and we build something together, like.
I want to tell a story here for the people watching, because this is a really fun story. So I was at Larchmont Village, this was a little while ago, and I was having breakfast and I was celebrating because I actually have had, April is my best month ever financially for me. Yeah. And I've done really well financially in life. So for April to be even better, I'm just like, because I'm living into my purpose, so it's just coming, which is excellent. Yes. So I'm having breakfast at this beautiful little cafe, and I order a glass of champagne. This is like 10 in the morning. And I get an email from my guest who was supposed to be scheduled for today's show saying, I can't make it. And we usually schedule out like, weeks in advance. And normally I would go into panic mode because it was, 4 days ahead of time, and who am I going to find and what are we going to do? And I was just in this space of trusting, and I thought, I'm just going to trust that this will get figured out. The right guest is going to show up somehow. I just sort of let that out there. I finished my champagne, I finished my breakfast, and off I go walking down the street towards the farmer's market, and I pass by Paula's store. Now the interesting thing is, I live, for those of you that know LA, 2 minutes away from Larchmont Village. I'm right there in Hancock Park. And I had never walked into your store before, ever. And I've walked by 1,000 times. Yes. Something said to me that morning, walk into this store today. So I walked into the store and I was just engulfed by her space. The presence and the space and the sanctuary feeling of your store. And I had to walk up to her, and I didn't know it was yours, but I said, this is such a beautiful store. It was full of the crystals and the candles and the essence. Yeah. And you and I just started to talk, and we started to talk a little bit about our stories. And I just thought, how fabulous would it be to have you on as a guest who has a local store here in Los Angeles. We can show some of your material, but also to share some of the passion that we both have. So I'm so happy to have met you like this, which people would say, is it an accident, is it a coincidence, or is it magical?
It's magical.
Right?
Was magical.
That
moment was magical. It was really nice, like I believe we share a beautiful moment, and I don't know, that's what people say when they get into alegría, it's just this connection when I put essential oils, and because I love what I do.
Right.
I love what I do, and I celebrate every single day. What I do is magical, because you never know what's going to happen in your life, and this is the beauty of life. Like how sometimes you are discouraged and something good happen, after that, but you have to believe, you have to go for it, because be motivated, is sometimes it's hard, but if you follow your dreams, if you are in the perfect space, in life, and you are honest with every day, what do you want to do? Because sometimes you don't want to go to work.
Yeah,
right. Sometimes, I don't know, you don't feel right, or whatever. But, try to do something to celebrate. We are alive. We are so lucky. We are so lucky we have food to eat, we have our space to live. And we are healthy, So this is really important to be grateful,
To be grateful, absolutely.
Be grateful.
And I had heard something the other day, which I thought was really beautiful. When you're living into uncertainty, because a lot of times, your job goes away, or something happens with your children, or whatever it is, and you move into the space of uncertainty, instead of going into again a place of fear, you have to look at uncertainty as really infinite possibilities. So why not embrace the uncertainty and think of all the infinite number of possibilities that could come out of that, rather than worry and stress about something that probably won't happen anyway.
And it's that time is time to reflect, you know, like to reflect. It's like sometimes, you know, it's like, you know, like it's a point, it's a breaking point, you know, like of like what I'm doing wrong, but not to be guilty of what you're doing wrong, just to, you know, if something is wrong in your life, just try to change it, you know, like this is something like, you know, like people say which kind of resolution you have this year.
Okay, right.
I do the resolution every single day. You know, every single day when you wake up and you pull the car, it's not about the car. It's about like, you know, like I want to make the best of this day. You know, like sometimes, you know, like you have the awful night, you're going to sleep, you're exhausted. You wake up in the morning, you need to wake up with another kind of hope, with a kind of like, you know, like,
because
the
it's
day
a new
just
day,
start.
right? It's a new day, which means anything
the
can
new
happen.
brand day.
Yes.
So, you know, like this is what I'm talking about. You know, it's like, you know, like you can make the resolution every single day. You know, like why not?
Why not?
You know,
yes.
like, why
and
not?
why not get up with the intention to live your best life, right? To live your happiest day, to live your most excitement. Even if you're at a place, like you mentioned, where maybe you don't like your job, or maybe you're fighting with your husband.
Make the best of that. Make the best.
Make the best of it, because that's where you are right now. Life is right now. You know, and I think, again, society is built in a way that makes us always feel like life is going to come, life is going to happen. We have to, you know, we're going to get there one day.
No, we not enjoy it. And we're losing days, we're losing time, we're losing hope, we're losing a lot of things, like, you know, we need to be grateful. You
Absolutely,
know?
yes. I am so grateful for you being a guest today. Tell us your website, how people can find you.
My website is Alegría Bazar by Paula. AlegriaBazar.com.
AlegriaBazar.com. Can you spell that for us slowly?
ALEGRIA. Bazar is B like black, ACAAR.com. But you can come to the store, because I love to see people.
Yeah, the store, and if you're local or you're visiting LA,
you have to touch that, feel that crystals.
You have to feel them, you have to hold them.
Yes.
It's really excellent, because
that's why I encourage people and say, touch them, feel them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the healer told you or who told you to wear amethyst. Feel the healings of them. Yeah.
Well, I feel the healing of you and your heart and your beautiful soul.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. It was a
Thank
pleasure
you for the lovely gifts. Thank you for the encouragement and the reminder to people to just not be fearful, but to fall into a place of enjoyment and gratitude.
Yes.
And that's really the key.
And celebrate who you are every day.
Every day. Thank you for being with us every Thursday.
Thank you. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. See you next week. Take care.
See you. Thank you.
You're listening to LA40 with Katerina Cozias, only on LA Talk Radio.